Hello, everybody, and welcome to
Episodic.
episode 5.
5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cinco, 6.
Yeah, episode 5. I'm John F. O'Donnell.
I'm Andrea Allen, and we are talking about mental illness, specifically bipolar disorder.
Yes, we are.
Our ailments.
Our ailments that we have lived experience with. Lived
It's
experience.
so annoying.
I know. Wait, so you were recently talking with your therapist?
Yes, today, having a therapist. A-okay. I struggle with sleep. I have bipolar 2/3, cyclothymia. I'm sort of in a grayer zone.
Bipolar 2.5.
Yeah. I mean, I think they didn't have they found it hard to pin me into one area. I'm just so special.
You are. Even amidst bipolar,
I'm so
you're so
unique.
precious and special and unique.
New York.
Can't label you bipolar 1, bipolar 2, bipolar 3.
Bipolar me.
Amazing.
Folks. But yeah, I struggle with sleep so much. It's one of my main, I exhibit lots of things on the diagnostic criteria, but one of the main ones that just fucks my shit up regularly is sleep. Like, I get on a hypomanic tear and I'm up till 5 a.m. working, fucking locked in, as the kids say.
Yeah.
Lots of thoughts, feeling great. And as of recently in my life, I've kind of tried to focus on trying to really keep an eye to see if I'm starting to go down one of these rabbit holes. But it's hard. You can try to calm yourself down. You have people in your life who notice maybe. I'll text Lizzie Cassidy, I want to get a tattoo. And she'll be like, hello. We always want to get a tattoo at a certain time. Yeah.
But do you feel like when you're in these hypomanic states and you're clicking on all cylinders that you're like, oh, I want to ride this wave because I'm getting so much stuff done?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love to work. I love what I do. There is part of it where it's I'm enjoying myself, and then it can shift over to oh fuck, I'm in this. Now my sleep's all fucked up, and now I'm paranoid, now I'm upset, and it can very quickly shift to upset and bad, a bad emotional experience. But and I have anxiety, so it's hard for me to sort of track what type of insomnia situation I'm having. And sometimes it's both. I'm hypomanic, I'm intense, I'm really feeling it, that I'm realizing what's happening, and I'm freaked out, and then I become anxious about sleep, and then I get just stuck in this dread approaching quote unquote bedtime. Then there's being awake till the sun. The minute you see a ray of sunshine and you're
still awake.
Oh my God! There's not you feel like such a piece of shit, and you're oh fuck! I'm so fucked. I'm fucked for weeks.
Yeah.
The depression afterwards is going to be debilitating. It's hard to eat healthily when you're exhausted. Your body just wants sugar and carbs because you're so low on energy. It's hard to exercise regularly because you're exhausted. The battle to try to function normally after you've just completely did a non-sleep bender. It feels like a bender.
Yeah.
And it just is so tough because, sleep is very important for your general health, your mental health, definitely. And it's really discouraging. There's a lot of parts of bipolar disorder that are maybe they're difficult, but they're also there's cool parts of it, and I'm not so ashamed or whatever. It's part of my mind and who I am, but not sleeping, there's nothing good about that one. There's nothing nuanced about that one. It just sucks.
Yeah, sleep is so important for everybody.
I know. Everyone's it's everything you need. And I'm well, I can't have it.
You can't have. You don't get it.
Yeah, it's
you don't get to have it.
Great.
But especially for people with bipolar disorder,
It's evil.
it's really an important thing. Like I always say, for me, it's just as important as medication and being sober, having a talk therapist, having a great psychiatrist, great family, friend support. Like sleep is just as important as meds, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know? So I know that you really struggle with it. And
do you have sleep issues?
You know what? Lately I'm kind of been okay. I've been trying to be consistent with it.
Right.
But I lately, for whatever reason, depending on the day, I feel like I'll be consistent with my sleeping, and then I'll have a little bit of a waiver where I don't sleep enough, and then the next day I'm like really exhausted.
Yeah.
And I'll be sleeping too much. I've been a little bit extra tired lately, which has been frustrating for me because I'm busy with a bunch of stuff, and there's certain things that I'm not getting to.
Yeah.
And that freaks me. That
Of
freaks me out
course.
and like annoys me. You know?
In like our, hyper capitalist, hyper hustle type culture, in a career in the arts where it's like produce, create, and like just like on a woman note, being on camera all the time, and then there's days where I just look like hot dog shit. I'm like, well, I guess we're gonna see that in HD on my Instagram all day. Well,
I don't buy that for you, but that's fine.
I appreciate that, but it's part of like. It's
just extra. It's just more.
It's just like, oh, I just want to be able to like lay in bed like a bag of shit.
Yeah.
But I'm a grown up and I can't do that.
I'm just gonna. I was in my mind. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna complain about this on mic, but I'm gonna do it for like 10 seconds.
Get it out, bitch.
All of the administrative extra promotional stuff you have to do in order to be an artist, to be a comedian, is bonkers. It's nuts. I have a humongous list of things I have to do just to kind of spread the word, to be able to perform the thing that I love. I have to do it, and I get it. I get to do what I love, and that is wonderful, and that is a privilege, and I feel that, and I understand that, and that's why I said I wasn't going to complain about it, but I needed to just a little bit, because there's a lot of flyers to be made and a lot of clips to be posted just to make this viable and work.
Yeah, I know. It's so, there's such an...
Got to be your own entire production team.
I mean, hey, look, we're in a podcasting studio that I built myself.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
And so, like, people with unconventional lives, like, we have freelance jobs. I run this studio. I also do a bunch of different writing gigs. We all do all these different gigs.
Yeah, I have a number of side hustles.
Yeah, so
and part-time jobs.
Don't sleep.
Yeah,
because you don't have to like get up for a 9 to 5. And I know people like I'm sure he wouldn't mind me talking about this, but my husband's has had a partner. He's had, I think, maybe more than one partner who's had bipolar disorder. I'm not totally sure, but there's one that I know of. And she had a regular high pressure job, and she would just work constantly and then like sleep for like 14 hours after like pushing her body to the limit. And that's scary for a partner to see. Like my partner never puts negative like energy towards it. He's very like, you need sleep, get your sleep. But I still feel there's something about being a person who sleeps till the middle of the day that just feels like you're such a piece of shit. Even if you're working the same amount, your schedule's just different. There's just such a hard on in our society to be like productive, and you're up at 6 and you're cold plunging and then you're sending emails. And I'm like, no, I'm like crying.
Yeah, you're like, no, I stayed up till 5.
Yes, and now I'm crying.
Yeah. No, I know you still struggle with it, but what was your therapist was saying something? Yeah,
so she was like, she said two interesting things, and like grain of salt. She was like, listen, I need to like research this more for you, but she's obviously in the mental health field, so she discusses these things. But one, she was saying that bipolar 2 is starting to be considered, or people are talking about it from the lens of it being a circadian rhythm disorder. Let me see if I can pull it up. Because like, my circadian rhythms are, I have a different sleep cycle in terms of when I sleep, but like my cycle does get disrupted and then regularly. So like, she was like, we are looking through that, looking at it through that lens as well, because it really is one of the more ever-present struggles.
Yeah, I know. It's something you've struggled with for a really long time, and it is very crucial to you not slipping into hypomania or then falling into depression.
Yeah.
You know?
So this is what it says. AI says this, so take it with a grain of salt.
It knows more than we'll ever know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Me too. Bipolar disorder, blah, blah, blah. Is closely linked to disruptions in the body's natural circadian rhythms. These disruptions can manifest as sleep disturbances, changes in appetite, and fluctuations in energy level, all of which are tied to the body's internal clock. Furthermore, research indicate that abnormalities in circadian rhythms may play a role in the onset and progression of bipolar disorder, including bipolar disorder 2. And then individuals with bipolar disorder 2 often experience sleep disturbances such as insomnia or excessive sleep, which are closely tied to circadian system. These sleep problems, along with factors like appetite and changes in fluctuations and energy, can be indicative of circadian rhythm irregularities. So, like you said, circadian rhythm disruptions in bipolar 2 can exacerbate mood symptoms and potentially trigger episodes of hypomania or depression. The altered sleep patterns in particular can be a defining feature of the disorder, even during the periods when individuals are not experiencing an active mood episode. Yeah, because I feel like sometimes it's not necessarily like I'm hypomanic, I'm up all the time and then I crash. That does happen, but sometimes it just is like I'm fine and then I don't sleep. And I'm like, why? God.
Yeah. So it's just some sort of circadian rhythm sort of interruption.
Yeah.
And you're just not sleeping in any sort of regular pattern.
Yes. And there was this interesting, she also said this, and this is something that also is, being researched, and like they don't, like we've said in the past, like there's still like so much to be unknown about our minds and the causes. So it's like, I'm talking out of my ass a little bit, but they talk about trauma being a trigger for the onset of bipolar disorder, sort of like addiction, where there's like the genetic predisposition and then trauma like puts the bullet in the gun type thing.
Yeah.
So we were talking a lot about like my early childhood, and I do have a memory of like a particularly traumatic event followed by a night of being like awake and very like, I was having like a great time, but like I was awake like all night, which is strange for a child, and I'm like, was that the beginning? Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I don't really have a, like you said, there's all these things that you can do, but there's also this sort of like resignation you have to have into being like, this is what's happening. I can do my best.
Yeah, because you have been, let's get into it. Let's talk about your sleep
Sure.
journey. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't necessarily know we were going in that direction.
We can talk about it, yeah.
Let's talk about that, because I think it is important for people to know about this. If we're going to be a mental health advocacy podcast, let's talk about one of the most important things, sleep. So your sleep journey has been quite arduous.
Yeah.
You've tried a lot of different things.
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, when I was in my 20s and teens, your body is so much faster and stronger. And so my bounce back from these all-nighter type things was pretty quick. So I didn't really think much of it, It's also kind of associated with creative people to be working late and then up in like late afternoon. Stand-up is very
late
tuned
nights.
into that lifestyle. So
And we'll get into this. And you were still drinking and using substances and stuff like that.
So like
as a sleep aid.
Yeah. So I didn't really think much of it, to be honest.
But did you, in your 20s, did you have this struggle to fall asleep?
Yes.
Definitely.
For sure. And the sleeping for days was much more pronounced during that time period because
so you would really have these crashes.
Oh yeah. Like I would go so hard with the not sleeping, and then it would be like 14. I could sleep for like a full day. Like I think I would go home. I would be working so much. And then I would go home to visit my family, and I would be like, see ya. And I would be asleep for like essentially a day. Like my mom would come down and be like, hello. And I like couldn't, This is another thing with sleep, especially from people who are chronically sleep deprived. When you actually sleep, it's like getting water in a desert, and people like are like, you can't get up. I'm like, I can't get up. Like,
Yeah.
my body is like, please more sleep. Oh my God, please more sleep. So I will not be up and functioning until like 4 p.m. sometimes.
Yeah.
And like, that's with my best effort.
Yeah.
The amount of alarms. Oh,
Just to claw your way out.
Yeah. It's really tough, but you need it. I've had to forgive myself for being like, you need sleep.
Yeah.
You can't, for your productivity and health long term, if you need to sleep all day, you need to like let go of this shitty association we have with that in our society, because it's so, I'll just get sick. Your immune system suffers if you don't sleep. So it's
I mean, if I'm not sleeping properly, if I'm not getting enough sleep, there is potential for me to start getting hypomanic.
Yeah.
And if I continue not to sleep,
Yeah.
it's going to cross a threshold into mania, and then it's just going to be a fucking disaster.
Did you ever have that trigger an episode?
Yes. I've definitely not got enough sleep, had my thoughts start racing and stuff like that. And then either started using substances or continued not to sleep. Yeah. And then I was just manic, and then it was just a disaster.
It was over. Yeah. You know? I feel this. Yeah. The racing thoughts is so like strange. I didn't know people's minds didn't work like this, you know?
That not everybody has racing thoughts. Yeah.
I didn't know until like pretty recently. I guess like I've always been like a hyper sensitive, emotional person for sure, creative. But when I got my diagnosis and racing thoughts was one of them, I'm like, you guys aren't like walking around like in it. You know what I mean?
That's
like
not just how the mind works for everybody.
Yes, I had no idea. Yeah. A study came out, or like, I guess, I don't know if study is a word for it. Do you know some people don't have internal monologues? Isn't that
I heard about this, but that's wild to me.
What? All day, every day, it is.
I feel like that sounds very freeing from one perspective, or from another perspective. Strange and bizarre, and maybe like something is lacking. I don't know.
What the fuck's going on in there? I know. We know someone. We have a mutual friend who told me she's one of these people.
Does she feel insecure about it?
Yeah, because I think it like makes you feel like you're stupid. But she was like, it's more like, how did she describe it? She's like, it's more like image based.
Okay.
And like vignettes kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not like a direct narrator that's going all the time.
Okay.
Because I got a fucking yak box going on.
Sure.
Full speed. Do you ever get into like philosophy thought?
Sure. Yeah. You gotta, when you're trying to like, when your mindfulness practice has gone by the wayside, and you're just having that internal dialogue again and again, and the recurring thoughts and all that shit. One thing I wanted to say about the racing thoughts real quick was that for me, I found there is a window of time when I am approaching hypomania or in the beginnings of hypomania, where my thoughts are racing, that I am aware. I do have that self-knowledge to
I'm
be
getting
like,
better at that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm potentially going to cross a threshold into something bad here. If I can get some sleep, I can potentially nip it in the bud, and that has actually happened.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know?
How long did it take for you to like learn how to do that?
I think a number of episodes.
Yeah, sure. It's like honing your like karate skills.
Yeah, but it can there is a window of time where I can catch it before it crosses that threshold. But once it crosses that threshold into mania, I no longer have that self-knowledge.
Off to the races,
which is so fucked up, you know, to like not be aware.
It's like you're being tortured by your own body.
Yeah.
And then you get out of it and you're like, I have this mind now, but then there's that mind over there that is fucking my shit up. For what? It feels like a predator is within you.
It's awful. Yeah. And I mean, it's very strange phenomena there's a number of things that are very strange about mania. It's very strange to lose my mind,
Yeah.
then get it back,
Right?
and then reflect upon having lost it
Yeah.
is weird.
Very.
And then it's also weird to be aware that you've lost it, then lose it again, be in the throes of losing it, and not be aware that you've lost it, even though you have acknowledged that that can happen to you.
I know. I mean, that's when I've talked to you during your manic episodes. There is something so interesting talking to you because I know, like, think of like lucid, doing well, John, and I'm like, God, I feel so bad for you on the other end of this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking to you and you are like you are in denial about what's happening. You're in it, and I'm like, damn, I feel really bad.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, and yeah, it's very treacherous, really shitty.
It is
thing,
treacherous, yeah.
about bipolar disorder. These manic episodes. Yeah.
It's like, for me, the sleep thing is the only time I will acknowledge or touch on in my mind that I am a person who would be considered disabled in this way. Like, people with bipolar disorder, I think I'm not sure where the government offers health aid, but they do with debilitating bipolar disorder where you can't work and that type of thing. And it's like, yeah, that's like a disability. And I don't want to there's people who are like wheelchair bound, who have like physical disability, I feel that I don't want to steal their thunder or overstate how I struggle. I never want to stolen valor, because there's much more severe things to struggle with, but it is like a thing that is really not in my control and does affect my ability to function and be a healthy person.
Well, I'll say to that, I don't think you need to make any disclaimer. I mean, it's interesting. I have a complicated relationship with the word disability and disabled because, bipolar disorder is the 6th largest category of disability in America.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of people are on. There's the sixth largest group of people who are on disability.
Yeah. Okay.
Have a bipolar diagnosis. So
Wow.
it is a high. I'm pretty sure it's number 6.
Wow.
It's a high. A lot of people with bipolar disorder are on disability.
Yeah.
I
make sure you don't turn too far.
I have a complicated relationship with the term disability.
Sure.
Because do I acknowledge that bipolar disorder is a disability? Yes. Do I identify as a disabled person? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
But then beyond that, why do I take issue with that word? Because
it's ableism. It's ableism.
It's ableism.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just have a complicated relationship. I went and gladly performed as a feature performer at this great comedy festival called the Disabled List.
Yeah.
So obviously I was identifying with the label there.
Yeah. Well, it's a gig.
Yeah, it's a gig. Yeah. But
I'll be gay for a gig.
Yeah, there you go. I'll identify however for
sure.
a gig.
I've eaten pussy. Throw me in, coach.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like there's no stolen valor.
I know. Yeah, it is kind of like queerness in a way when you're a queer person who is in a straight relationship. Especially, everyone's got their fucking bone to pick with bisexual women.
Sure.
Get over it.
Sure.
And I also understand who you're talking about. I never want to be the person who is living life on a very easy setting to brandish a struggle of mine as to be like, me also. You know what I mean?
Sure,
sure. It's so cringe and, it's just in bad taste.
Yeah.
So I always try to keep that in mind. But I recently, I got diagnosed 6 years ago. I sort of was like, you need to view yourself as a disabled person in this area so that you can stop thinking that you're an abled person who's being lazy,
Yeah.
If I would never think of a person in like a wheelchair or a person who had a physical disability and be like, why is this piece of shit not trying to push their body? They can.
Yeah.
And similarly with sleep, if I have a sleep episode and I need to sleep all day, or I don't work out, or I eat shittily, like, it's not my fault. It's not a moral failing. It's just a physical, psychological thing that's happening in my brain, and I have no control over it. So like making myself feel bad about it in addition to already feeling depressed is not, it's just like not a useful or kind practice to yourself. But it's so hard to get out of that particular societal, viewpoint towards sleep,
Absolutely. I think for me with the term disabled and disability, I think where I land on it currently is that bipolar disorder is a disability. I don't feel disabled by it. And that's where I land on it.
And I think that's great. I mean, I think like I'm sure disabled people with physical disabilities or whatever different type of disability, depending on the severity, there is ableism and stank on that word. So I think people, similar to like slurs or whatever, people sort of do what they want with that word, identify how they want to make themselves feel better and some people are like, I'm proudly disabled. Disabled people contribute lots to society, So I think it really just depends person to person, like how you view yourself in that prison, how you view the language, like whatever you want to do that makes you feel good and doesn't do damage to your self-esteem, then yeah, it doesn't matter. But for me, privately, being like, this part of this illness is debilitating, I think that's also a good word for it.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely been debilitated by bipolar disorder over the years, for sure.
Yeah, you've definitely had more like life destroying and then building up type journeys than I have. I've certainly done little mini destroys for sure, but I haven't like been put into prison or been put into a mental health facility or lost relationships. I mean, I have lost relationships, but not.
Yeah.
It's like a complete causal correlation between.
Yeah.
Which is a good segue. Should we talk about Ireland?
Oh, I guess so.
Right?
Okay. So
okay.
All right. So 2008 frantically. Okay. So should we just go into it?
Let's do it.
All right. So 2008, I'm frantically running through the streets of Dublin, Ireland.
Sure.
Manic out of my gourd.
Can I ask, how did you get there? Are we going to pull back and do that?
We can pull back.
Okay.
Yeah. So
John loves Ireland, by the way.
this is what it is, you guys. So I'm partially Irish. My last name's O'Donnell.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I really identify with that Irish heritage.
Dude, you love it.
That Irish
You're
history.
doing Free Palestine.
That Irish culture. Yes, absolutely.
It's cool. I love a scrappy underdog.
So for whatever reason, over the years, multiple times when I've gone to Ireland, it's like I'm too close to the motherland and I get too fiery.
It sends out a beacon.
It sends out like this beacon and I become crazy. I become enraged with passion.
It's also so funny because Ireland, yes, has this very like politically
charged history.
It's also like this beautiful green rolling. There's like
beautiful
red Irish sheep and like, it's just such a funny place to absolutely go batshit.
Well, it's interesting because the people there are so crazy and they drink so much and everybody's out and about partying so much that you can kind of just keep floating around.
Oh yeah, my family's from Scotland and I've been to Ireland.
Oh, that's even crazier.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've visited both those places. If I wanted to, God, if I wanted to relapse, if it was like gonna be over, like the world was gonna end in like a year, we knew, buddy, I would go to Scotland and I would be fucking shit-faced.
Just get lit. Scotland.
Just fucking Scotland.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
so fun. But yeah, it does. They are fast and loose with the booze, and they don't talk about their feelings a whole lot there.
Yeah, they're just spun out. I would used to say, like, in America we live to work, in Ireland they work to live.
I
So,
love that.
Right when they're done with work, right to the pub.
Sure, maybe something in the middle.
Maybe something in the middle might be the magic
Yeah.
touch.
Whatever.
Yeah. So okay. So it's August of 2008. I'm frantically running through the streets of Dublin, Ireland, Manic. Now back up a little bit. April 2008. I'm in New Orleans at a comedy festival with a bunch of
another
friends.
crazy place.
Yeah. Yeah.
People, mentally ill people, really got to be wary of New Orleans. It is a
You think?
fucking yeah, of course. It's a circus tent.
Yeah.
Love it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. It's another place that's very conducive to being an eccentric character.
Oh my God, do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So I'm there. I'm at a comedy festival. I'm with all my friends. My birthday. Start getting fucked up. And I kind of start ramping up and getting hypomanic in the next number of weeks and months, right? So I'm back in New York for a number of months, just burning every
Also
bridge.
a mental health disaster, New York.
Yes, every place.
Yeah.
Every
yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this or not, everybody, but there's a lot of stimuli
Oh my God.
in New York City.
If you get literally the city that doesn't sleep.
Doesn't sleep.
Quite literally.
Yeah, Andrew, you live in this city that doesn't sleep, and you're desperately in need of sleep.
And I'll never, and yet I love it. I'm
And yet
addicted
you
to
need
it.
it.
It's my central core identity that
You
I'm a
love
crazy
it.
nighttime bitch.
So I'm getting manic in New York now, in
Yeah.
2008.
Yeah.
And I am...
Are you working at this time?
I
Or like stand up?
I doing stand up. The job I recall that I had at the time,
Hilarious.
but I may have lost it.
No.
I was working in a call center.
Oh my God.
I was a grad school advisor.
I bet you were great though.
Well, I was pretty good at it. I was working for Kaplan, the test prep company.
Okay. Yeah.
As a grad school advisor.
Yeah.
So I was selling test prep courses to students who were taking like the law school entry exam or
Sure.
medical school entry exam, the LSAT or the MCAT, etc.
Yeah.
And I had to sell those over the phone to people.
Okay.
And I
Hey,
was
it's
kinda
John
good.
F. O'Donnell.
Yeah. No, but my move when I would call them, because they weren't cold calls. They were people who had like signed up for a practice test.
Yeah.
Or so I wasn't just like calling random people
Yeah,
being
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you want to study for the LSAT? That would be crazy. So
Yeah.
I was calling like lukewarm leads, right?
Okay.
So, but I would call and I'd be like, hey, Carol, it's John
Oh.
from Kaplan. Like I would pretend we were already friends
Smart.
as a way to kind of get in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, if I still had that job at the time, I certainly wasn't going in, and I certainly lost it
Yeah.
soon thereafter.
Yeah. I was just wondering about money. I always wonder
Yeah.
about money in
Yeah.
these situations. you
I
know?
was somehow squeaking by.
Yeah.
So I'm ramping up, I'm getting manic. And now here's the thing, I'm around my friends in New York, I'm at comedy venues, I'm at bars, I'm at restaurants, and nobody knew that I had bipolar disorder. I didn't really talk about it at this time.
Yeah.
So no one had any frame of reference to understand what was going on.
I just thought you were a really cool guy.
They just thought I was like maybe a little extra
Yeah.
than I had usually been.
Sure.
But it was kind of hard to tell because we were all kind of like a wild group of people who were
Sure.
partying a lot, we're doing comedy all the
stand-up
time,
in your 20s,
doing
yeah.
stand up in our 20s. We're just like, living it up.
Yeah.
And I, had a gazillion friends, and people didn't know what was going on. They're like, oh, John's, and I was hypomanic for a
Yeah.
while, right? So I was just kind of clicking on all cylinders.
Do you ever notice, I'm sorry to interrupt, younger people, because we're around people who are in their 20s by virtue of what we do.
Yeah.
And I notice young people who have either been diagnosed or like they're undiagnosed, but you're like, you have a time.
Yeah.
And you kind of see them living this lifestyle and like still drinking, still whatever. And I just want to be like, no, but you can't, because I was the same way. If you had been like, you need to be on psych meds and try to go to sleep, I would have been like, fuck you. Like there's
Sure.
just no... I
Yeah.
do think there's like a period where you don't really want to deal with it because you're freaked out by it or because you like believe that you're unique and you can handle it. Like there's like a hubris to young people that managing a mental health issue just doesn't really, it's not really a priority for them.
I mean, I think that's certainly the case sometimes. I like to hope that
too.
some people will kind of start their journey towards mental wellness earlier.
Totally, I hope.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think that, I think that's definitely a trend, what you're saying, for sure. But
Yeah.
I think it's somewhat of a case-to-case thing. And
Yeah.
maybe if people can kind of get enough information about what's going on and realize the quicker that they do get their mental health under control,
their life will be better.
Life will be better,
Yeah.
creatively, career-wise, everything.
Yeah.
You know?
How many people we've seen tank their careers because
Sure.
they don't take care of it?
Because they don't take care of themselves. Yeah.
But anyway, so you're
So I'm
a zany guy.
zany, hypomanic, J-Fod. Everybody loves me.
Yeah.
But then it must have crossed a threshold into me getting agitated with people, me acting too weird, because I start alienating myself from people. I remember.
You get mad. Oh my God, something just unlocked in my mind. Oh my God. Okay, sorry I keep interrupting, but it's the Creek in the Cave. There's a show on the top floor theater, and I'm sure you'll talk about the Creek in the Cave because
Sure.
it figures into this, but it was a small indie venue where a lot of this stuff was happening. It was a very cool moment in comedy history in New York. But I didn't know you were back from New York. I don't think this is this episode. It's like a later one. And I go into the showroom and you're on stage just trying some real subversive stuff.
Oh yeah. Now I kind of vaguely remember this. This is embarrassing. Yeah.
It was something political that was like, it was.
I was not pulling it off.
You were not pulling it off.
Yeah.
Probably something maybe a black person should have been. It wasn't like racist, but it was like commentary on racial lines.
Sure.
And I remember some newer comic being like, who's this fucking weirdo? I'm like, trust me, this guy is cool.
Yeah.
This is just not a good. I didn't know you were there. I didn't know you were manic. And I was like, fuck, this John looks away, but he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's an important thing to bring up, where it's like, yeah, untreated mental illness does not always translate into,
Brilliance.
live performance genius and brilliance, I mean, it's possible in that manic state, a number of performances here and there, something really interesting that
For
really
sure.
like, oh wow, that's mind-blowing, that's really funny and interesting,
Inhibitions
comes out.
have been removed, and so
Yeah, but in terms of consistency and in terms of it really actually being something that I have worked on and want to express and put something interesting out into the world, it's way too haphazard.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And
it's a crapshoot.
It's a total crapshoot.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't go right, it can be horrifically awful.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I said during that, but I do vaguely remember it. And like now thinking about it afterwards, I was like, I bet it was like, I was not pulling off what I was trying to pull off.
No, you were not. And I was like, oh, fuck. This is not who this guy is.
Not even close.
But those people saw you and were like, who's this fucking weird? Also, like, I had a friend early on who I became quite close with, and he was like, I thought you were like one of those crazy, like, there's like people who are like unhoused, who are like, who hang out in the comedy circuit. They do mics. They're kind of like our characters. I mean, they're also like terribly sad, but like, it's something you have to parse out in your mind. But like, there's certain characters that are like not considered real comedians. They're like fringe people on the scene who you see, and they're kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's such a weird part of the lifestyle, but you just know these strange people. But he was like, I thought you were one of those strange people. He was like, when I found out you had like a job.
So thought you were?
Yes. Because I was so angry and yelling. I'm pretty, I yell still in my comedy, but I was fully just like screaming all the time.
Yeah.
And people were just like, she's yeah. Whoa. But that lady's really.
She's one of these adjacent people.
Yes, I was an other person for sure. And I'm sure I was hypomanic for a great deal of that.
Yeah.
Just really feeling like I was
But yeah, I mean,
commenting.
honestly, any performances I've had when I've been manic, I am not like looking back at that as being anywhere near my best work.
Of course not.
Not even close.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people do think about it like that. They're like, oh, like the insane genius, unencumbered by
a
anything
very
on stage.
Slippery
It's
thing.
not true.
Yeah.
I mean, I have an old album, an old EP, Live from Outer Space Volume 7, that is a recording of me manic. And I actually ended up in the hospital a few days after that recording.
Slay.
And I listened back to it, And part of me is glad I have it recorded just to see what that's like.
Yeah.
But and people were laughing. It was one of those ones where it was sort of connecting, but I'm kind of like,
tough list.
what am I doing
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. I bet you I was at that recording. My laugh is prominently featured in a few of your album
This was
recordings.
at Cabin.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't quite around for that.
This
that
was
era.
at Cabin in the East Village.
Yeah.
But Live from Outer Space Volume 7 is a real weird one.
Hey.
But anyway, so the next thing I was going to talk about was at the Creek in the Cave, actually, during that episode.
Okay.
So I ended up, Creek in the Cave is this venue.
It's in Austin now.
It's in Austin now. It was in New York. I helped get it running. I helped start the Creek in the Cave.
So crazy.
Yeah, with my buddy Timmy Williams from The Whitest Kids You Know, and this sketch group called the Jerk Practice. We had the first shows at this venue before it became
grandfather of alt comedy in New York City.
Yeah, the third wave of alt comedy.
These kids don't even know who they're talking to.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. It's I'm very grateful to have gotten to contribute to starting comedy at the Creek in the Cave. And then obviously a gazillion people contributed it to make it this great thing that it was. And
this terrible thing that it was also.
Sure.
Which is like not a dig. It's just like, it was our CBGBs, I would say.
Yeah.
Where it was like a hub where comedians would come at all hours. And you were an alternative comedian, and I would identify myself as alternative comedian in a lot of ways. Other ways, I'm a hacky road dog.
Well, alternative comedian just means alternative to performing at the comedy clubs. And it's just like, hey, I'd perform there if I can get booked
right.
there.
but I think it's in spirit, like a
it is in spirit. It's a sensibility.
Yeah, like a more risk-taking, subversive type of comedy, which traditional clubs don't really like hold space for that kind of stuff. And I'm also like, I get it. You people are paying a lot of money. They expect like consistency, but the Creek in the Cave was like,
it's like a comedy clubhouse for everybody.
Yeah, and more of an artsy space, and run by a woman, Rebecca Trent, who definitely like was like a tastemaker in our scene for many years.
Yeah, I mean, she's been highly supportive of a gazillion comedians for a very long time.
For sure. So you were spearheading that space.
Yeah. So we started the first show there, me and Timmy Williams, called The Kingdom of Heaven, and it was a mic. And we would have a headliner on called the Comedian of Merit that would do like 15 to 20 minutes. And all these comedians who are like famous now did it. Like Anthony Jeselnik did it.
Cool.
Kumail Nanjiani, Amy Schumer, Jacqueline Novak, Reggie Watts.
Wow.
Pete Holmes, a bunch of people. Right?
Awesome.
And it was really fun. It was really fun. And it was like this great... we kind of cultivated this great community of comedians. So I was always very proud that I was part of the origin of the Creek in the Cave.
Yeah.
Right?
That's cool.
So cut to, 2008, me, Manic. I'm downstairs in the basement where the restaurant was, or there was tables for a restaurant down there at the time.
Yeah.
And there was this large, like 12 top of people eating, and I wanted them to come up into the showroom, but they were celebrating a birthday, right?
Yeah.
And I lied to them, and I said, I was like, this show is to help children with autism.
You piece of shit.
This is awful. This is not a good look to retelling the story.
Whatever. It's not you. It's other John.
Yeah. And I was like, you guys got to get up here and watch this. And then they said no. And then I yelled at them for not wanting to help children with autism. And then I said that they were a bunch of Republicans.
Whoa.
Right?
You used the R slur.
The R slur.
Yeah.
I accused them of being Republicans. And so
which back then was a way more chill thing than being a Republican. Like throwing a Republican around back then, cringe, but not fucking Trump ice Republican.
Yeah, it's pretty different now. Yeah. Well, I mean, this was George W. Bush.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
So anyway, like, and I forgot about some of the aspects of this. Rebecca had to remind me about this stuff. That then what ended up happening was these people left without paying their bill.
Oh, wow.
Right? They were like, I freaked them out so much. And then Rebecca got a call about this. her father happened to be in town. Her father is like some like hard-nosed dude who is like
army guy.
I don't know if he's an army. I can't remember, but I know that he is like the head of some local chapter of the Republicans in like Virginia or something like that.
Virginia Republican. Oh boy.
So he found out what happened. His whole plan was to come to the venue and like beat the shit out of me. He gets to the creek in the cave. I'm now on stage just like bawling my eyes out, like crying. Like I remember I was dressed wearing this really tight yellow shirt that had like all of this green on it. It was like some sort of leprechaun, like it was like a leprechaun bar or something. Like the shirt had the word leprechaun in it. The bar had the word leprechaun in the name.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing this tight shirt. It's like super tight. And I'm like, and there's like, I've like red wine stained lips and teeth and everything. And I'm on stage crying.
This image is so funny.
And so that actually saved me because when he saw me, this like pathetic figure just like bawling on stage into the mic covered in red wine, wearing the tight leprechaun t-shirt.
He's like, this guy's got
like,
enough problems.
This guy has got enough of his own issues. I can't punch him out.
No, you're like hurting a disabled person.
Yes, I was. Honestly, I absolutely, when I'm manic, I'm disabled. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, you're not in your right mind.
It's I don't know. The word disabled is a complicated word for me, but it's fine. And maybe that's my own entrenched ableism. I have no idea. But
the red wine, I'm sorry, the red wine is so funny.
Yeah. I have red wine stained teeth and lips, and I got the leprechaun shirt on, and I'm crying. I think I was like vomiting before. I'm like coughing, like, because I was smoking so many cigarettes. So I'm just like dry heaving. And Rebecca's dad's coming to kick my ass. I think he was a military guy that was then like the head of the Virginia, some Suffolk County Republican Party is coming to kick my ass because I was telling all of the people who are trying to celebrate a birthday that they don't care about children with autism. It's terrible.
And you're like, I'm a child with autism.
Yeah. So then I get kicked out.
Oh my God.
So I get 86 from the creek in the cave. I got kicked out of that. I'm alienating all my friends.
Oh.
All of this is happening, burning all these bridges, getting kicked out of cafes for like eating food off people's plates. I was like, okay, before this happened, I was so ingratiated to my neighborhood. I was living in Long Island City, Queens, just north of Greenpoint, Brooklyn. It's not in Long Island, it's in Queens.
Yeah.
People get confused about that.
Yeah.
But I was living there. I was so ingratiated to the neighborhood. I informally was known as the mayor of Long Island City.
I didn't know I was with a former political figurehead.
Yeah. And then I alienated myself from so many people. I essentially got kicked out of an entire New York City neighborhood, which is not easy to do.
Impressive.
Because there's a lot of crazies out there just spinning around, and they still get to stick around.
Yeah.
But anyway, all of this is happening. I'm burning all of these bridges.
Are you like
I'm
fighting
tearing
with
down.
people?
I'm tearing down my New York City life.
Yeah.
And then I go to Dublin.
So are you like, I'm going to Dublin to do art? Is there any internal logic to it?
Yes. Before I got sick, before I was manic, I'd already booked gigs in Dublin, in Ireland, and in Scotland.
For Fringe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I was already supposed to do that.
By the way, I'm sorry to say this. When people enter Fringe, there should just be a quick mental health check-in because there are some people at Fringe where you're like, this is an You at Fringe, if you had the white wine all over your teeth and the vomit and the leprechaun shirt.
Red wine,
sorry. People, there's more than one you at Fringe.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just doing my own. And you're like, God, this is an emergency.
No, there should be constant like mental wellness checks
like
for the performers at Fringe.
In Burning Man, I've been to Burning Man one time, and they have like, because it's a self-contained like society, it is a city that pops up in the middle of a desert. They have like really incredible like social work people for like drug freakouts and, psychological all this stuff. And they're so efficient just because it's such a higher stakes, thing. And it's like, even though Fringe is in a city, they should have like an additional team of psychiatrists around for Fringe. I'm not even kidding. Fringe.
Yeah, people lose their fucking minds.
It's very intense. It's an intense experience.
It is an intense experience. But anyway, it's more intense when you think you're Jesus Christ.
Sure, but I think it makes sense that you would be drawn to something like that when you're manic, for sure.
Sure, but I mean, I'm also a comedian. I was just planning to do it in my right mind.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I was supposed to do a show called Irish American, where I was going to share the hour with an Irish comedian and friend, my friend Eleanor Tiernan. We were supposed to do about a half hour of stand-up each, and then we were going to have a collaborative element.
Yeah.
She actually came to New York before I left for Dublin. But I was already manic. It was her first time visiting New York.
Oh, my God.
She came to do shows and for us to work on the collaborative element and also to get some press pics and stuff. But I was such a manic disaster. Like,
are there any of those press pics available?
Yeah, there's one actually, and it looks kind of cool.
That's cool.
It's just like, it says Irish American. It's like her in front of an Irish flag, me in front of American flag, and it's just like half and half.
Yeah. Well, it's also like like we pointed out, there's people on varying degrees of like mental health spectrums in our community and in the world, but in comedy, it's certainly a much more like open-minded group, which I love about comedy. I think that's like really helpful, but also so like she comes in, if you're kind of like a little edgy and kind of all over the place, like she could still be like, he's just like a creative person. And again, if she doesn't know that you deal with this issue, like who's to say that you're not just like a kind of an eccentric performer? I would not necessarily jump to that conclusion right away.
Sure, but I mean, she had met me before,
right,
and didn't think I was a total asshole,
sure, yeah,
and now she did because she didn't know what was going on.
Yeah,
it was exactly, she told me this after the fact, like we became, when we patched everything up. She was like, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
She's like, I thought I didn't get a proper read on you when we first met. So I thought maybe you were just like a jerk. And she's like, I was annoyed with myself. She's like, because I pride myself on being able to read people.
Yeah.
But then she did like ask around. She got in touch with family of mine, and they're like, oh, he's like manic right now. This is not how he usually is.
Yeah.
We're sorry you're being subjected to this.
Yeah.
And then she said that she wasn't mad at me anymore, and she was just like worried.
Yeah,
of course.
Sure.
But like, I feel bad because this is her first time coming to New York. I was able to book her on some shows, so I did get her some shows.
Sure.
But like, I wasn't home to let her into my apartment when she got there.
Yeah. I was also this person as well.
Yeah.
And I've done this stuff.
Yeah.
For sure. I can talk about alienating people, but yes, it's a more difficult, shameful part of this is like, oh, I let people down and people are upset and I didn't treat people how I normally do. Yeah. No, it sucks. It's
like
hard.
I remember it's like we were on the subway and I'm like singing Redemption Song by Bob Marley. She's like, what the fuck is going on?
I used to yell Dice, Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
I had one friend who was like particularly socially shy, and my bipolar, unhinged, very mischievous. I definitely have a mischievous and slightly mean streak to my personality, which is not improved by hypomania. So I just kept being like, Dice, just screaming Dice
on the subway.
Yeah. And this person is like, please God, stop. I'm next to you. You
were by yourself, hypomanic?
No, I was with this person, and they're like, I'm on the subway with you. I'm clearly with you. And you're yelling Dice, and you're a woman and I'm a man. So if you're like going to get in some person's face that is going to hurt you,
he's going to be thrust
I'm going to be responsible.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I was singing Redemption Song by Bob Marley, but I changed the lyrics to Redemption Joke.
Oh, my God.
So cringe. So weird, bizarre, inappropriate, uncomfortable, and cringe all together. Redemption Joke, these jokes of freedom.
Oh, what? God.
So I was just like, bizarre behavior around her to the point where she was staying at my place. And then she had to be like, oh, she's like, my family surprised me. They got me a hotel.
Sure. Yeah.
For my last night.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So this was the thing. Like, she was like, okay, John's sick. I got him in touch with his family. Or no, I reached out to his family. I guess they're going to help him. I'm still going to go do our show in Scotland, she's thinking to herself.
Yeah. Watch
but
your hand in front of your face, by the way.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
She's like, I'm going to go do our show in Scotland.
Yeah.
Just not with John anymore.
Okay.
Right? So she went back to Dublin, determined to do the Irish American show just without me because I'm manic, right? She never imagined in a million years that I would actually still be at the festival.
Oh, my God. Great story for this lady, you know?
Yeah.
Shitty, but also wild.
So I am at the festival.
Yeah.
And we can, we can get back to that. But basically, first I had to go through Dublin and Belfast to then get to Edinburgh.
Every level is more and more triggering.
Yeah. But, okay, I don't know. I'm telling this all out of order, and it's weird for me. But when I get to Edinburgh, luckily, okay, they won't let me into the venue where the Irish American show is happening.
But it's your show.
Yeah, I thought that it was my show.
Yeah.
But she's doing the show called Irish American.
Yeah.
Right? But she never told anybody that I was no longer part of the show.
Okay.
She decided to get like Andy Kaufman-esque about it.
Smart move.
Where she did her half hour of material and then introduced me to come to the stage.
Yeah.
But she fully knew I wouldn't be coming to the stage. And then she would just sort of riff with the crowd and then just like read a poem from a crumpled up piece of paper in her pocket and just sort of kill time.
Yeah.
But like, I was there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it was very strange to see my name in all the promotional material, not be allowed into the venue.
Was it because you just were so erratic, obviously, at that point, that people knew to not let you in?
I think that she told the people there not to let me in.
Okay. Yeah. So she was entertaining the possibility that you may show up.
No, I mean, I think when she knew I was there, then she told them.
Oh, okay. Got it.
You know?
Yeah.
She wasn't entertaining the possibility that I was going to be there because I don't think she would have done this thing. And then she told me, I didn't realize that she did this right away. But then after the fact, when we connected and she told me about that, she said she felt really bad having had done that. But I told her, I was like, look, I was a manic disaster. Nothing you did.
Sure.
You need to feel bad about whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, I fucked up. Like, you got screwed over about this show we were supposed to do together. You had to make the most of it. You decided it was too late into the game to kind of change everything around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
So,
Yeah, she did
so
her
you did what
best.
you had to do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a funny story now after the fact.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so I don't know. Everything was burning down in New York. And then I left for Ireland. And I mean, my family and my friends like begged me not to go. They were so scared and so worried, and rightly so.
Yeah.
But they couldn't stop me. They couldn't just like physically restrain me and keep me from going. So I went.
And like we discussed, it's like unless you harm yourself or someone else, they have no legal power to put you in a facility of any sort. So
off to the races.
Yeah.
So I'm in Dublin now, and the delusion that I'm living under is that the CIA and descendants of the Nazis are trying to assassinate me, but I'm being protected by the IRA and Bono from U2.
Oh.
That's the worldview that we're living under.
Okay.
Right? So I'm like running through the streets of Dublin, Ireland. This is a true story. Completely freaked out that the CIA and descendants of the Nazis are trying to assassinate me because I'm spreading the idea that there's a connectivity of life and an evolution of consciousness that's going to undermine all their power structures.
Hopefully.
So they got to take me out.
Yeah.
Right? But the Irish Republican Army, Bono from U2, got my back. All right? So I'm running through Dublin, and just in the throes of mania.
Do you think you're going to get like assassinated?
Yeah, I think they're trying to kill me for sure.
Scary.
For sure. Really scary.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds so absurd and ridiculous and like and funny, but like we talked about in the previous episodes, to actually believe something like that,
Yeah.
to feel that fear,
Yeah.
how intense and scary that is. Like you said, like the fear is real.
Yes.
The fear is very real.
Yeah.
So I'm running through Dublin. I'm like Grafton Street, St. Stephen's Green, the city center. I'm like dressed bizarrely. I'm wearing like military boots somehow. I have like green cargo pants that are rolled up like shorts. I'm wearing a belt with an American flag belt buckle on it because I need to convince the CIA and the Americans and the Nazis that I'm a good, obedient American.
Oh, nice. Code switching.
Code switching. I
Yeah.
remember I'm wearing a light blue T-shirt that just says "gay" across the chest.
Cool.
Very
A lot
edgy,
of conflicting
forward-thinking.
messages.
And again, red wine comes into play because it was half covered in red wine. 'Cause I spilled red wine all over myself.
Are you getting all this red
I was
wine?
drinking red wine like constantly when I was manic and smoking weed and all sorts of shit. And then I was wearing like a brown bow tie around my neck, but with like no collared shirts, so like just the brown bow
Yeah.
tie. These ugly, oversized brown glasses with one stem missing.
This is like
just
the
like hanging on my head.
This is like the liberal version of the people who stormed the Capitol.
Yeah.
You know, the outfits
Yeah.
were just like lion hat, like
Yeah.
like weird pant. Like it's just there's something about
Yeah.
people unhinged who are like, I'm gonna put on an outfit
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
such a red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like the dude wearing the Viking hat.
Yeah.
And then speaking of hats, I was wearing on my head like a kufi,
Okay.
like a traditional Islamic head covering.
Where are you getting these things?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
where I
yeah.
got it. So I'm like running through Dublin with that, and I got my black duffel bag filled with documents, my cell phone, my passport. Terrified for my life. Okay.
Yeah. Glad you couldn't get a gun.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
And then I get to Marion Square, this really fancy part of Ireland, and there's like these row houses, historical sites. I see this old Irish guy walking towards me, and he's very stereotypical.
Sure.
He's got like a patty cap on. He's wearing like tweeds. He's got these big, thick eyebrows,
Fun.
white eyebrows. He's carrying a black bag. I'm like, this looks pretty similar to my black bag, you know?
Okay.
And I've seen enough spy movies. I know what we're supposed to do, the old bag switcheroo, right?
Classic. It's a classic.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
I figure he's going to get my bag with my important documents in it. I'm going to get something from him, like a disguise maybe.
Yeah.
You know, help get me off the grid.
There is something about feeling like you're having like psychic connections with others
Yeah.
in mania, but in hypomania a little bit. Sometimes I'll just be like, something's really going down with me and this person. And it's not even necessarily like a sexual. Sometimes it's a sexual thing, but
Yeah.
like the connections you feel you're having with others versus what's actually happening is not always lined up.
Oh, strong agree
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're having all sorts of subjective experience in
Yeah.
your mind with what's happening and making all these connections
Yeah.
that are so intense
Yeah.
and so real to you, but they really are not valid.
What you're laying down, they are not
Yeah.
picking up.
So I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to do the bag switcheroo with this
Yeah.
guy,
Uh-huh.
right? So I slow down from running, start walking towards him. He's walking towards me. I get like less than a foot away.
Yeah.
I put my bag down, and then he just keeps walking.
Of course, yes.
Of course, right? He just keeps freaking walking. But I remember, in my mind, it really pissed me off
Sure.
because I was like, "What are you doing, man?
What's the plan?
How are you not on board with this?"
Yeah.
I'm John F. O'Donnell, the John F. O'Donnell. I just escaped from America. Hello.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to outrun the CIA and the Nazis so I can spread the idea there's a connectivity of life and an evolution of consciousness.
Totally.
And this guy is not even going to do the bag switcheroo thing with me?
Unbelievable.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
And then in my mind, I'm like, oh, he's probably Bono's uncle. How is he not helping me?
Oh,
You know?
God. The storytelling
Yeah.
that is happening internally
It's
is
wild,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So then what happens is I see this other Irish guy across the street. He's outside of the Marion Hotel. It's one of Ireland's like fanciest
Okay.
hotels.
Yeah.
He's wearing a really nice suit, clean shaven, younger guy, has a rolled up newspaper.
Okay.
And I totally perceive that he's like subtly gesturing with the newspaper for me to go into the hotel.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he goes into the hotel. I cross the street. I go into the hotel.
Which, by the way, the staff of the hotel are like, absolutely not. This gay shirt, like, fucking.
You would think I would have been ushered out immediately, but I don't know if there's some sort of weird manic confidence or
yes,
something.
there is. Yeah.
Some sort of, I'm pulling Jedi mind tricks all over the place.
And also, sometimes people, it's like when you see something that's socially irregular
Yeah.
and it's happening in plain sight, your mind kind of is like, okay, like you don't have time.
You don't clock it.
Yeah, 'cause
You don't
it's
totally
so
clock it.
crazy
Yeah.
that you're just like, oh, but now he's gone. Okay, like,
Because I specifically remember giving a head nod to the woman at the front desk, and then she
Right.
like head nodded back to me.
and she's like, I just worked this fucking job. But
Yeah.
what am I gonna wrestle this weird guy down?
Yeah.
Like, who knows? Maybe he'll go away. Whatever.
So I go into the lobby,
Yeah.
and now this Irish guy is reading his newspaper in the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 very old people sitting there dressed really expensively.
Yeah.
And in my mind, and they're speaking, they're like speaking some language I don't understand, but I'm like, oh, it's German.
Sure.
They're Germans. I
Yeah.
know who they are.
Yeah.
These are descendants of the Nazis who escaped down to Argentina.
Yeah.
And they have all this expensive clothes because they stole all this gold from the Jewish people, and they've used that to buy all this expensive clothes. And now they've come to Ireland to try to find me, to either repent to me or try to assassinate me.
Ooh, to repent to
Yes,
you.
I can't be sure
Interesting.
which one it is.
Oh.
But I know for a fact that I can't reveal to them that I'm the Jonathan they're looking for. But at the same time, I need to let this Irish guy know that I'm the Jonathan he's looking for.
Do you think they would have like presented you all the gold teeth fillings that they'd
Oh my
stolen from the
God.
Holocaust victims?
Oh my God.
Oh, this is so savage.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So I don't know what they want to do, but I know that I cannot reveal to them that
Sure.
I'm the John F. O'Donnell they're looking for, just in
Signal.
case.
Yeah.
But I gotta let the Irish guy know.
Yeah.
So I sit down next to him, and I pull one of my documents out of my bag. And what is that document?
Mein Kampf.
No.
Yeah.
It is it's the book A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. So it was a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's a book. Weird,
Sure.
right? So and then my other documents I remember consisted of the book A People's History of the United States
There you
by
go.
Howard Zinn
There you
was in
go.
there, huh? I had The Gay Science by Friedrich Nietzsche. And I also had Steve Martin's autobiography.
Great book.
Great book.
Yeah.
You never know when you're going to need that shit, I guess,
To
right?
signal to a
Yeah.
fellow spy.
Yeah. So I take the book A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole.
Yeah.
I put it on the table, and then I just slide it over in the
How
direction
terrifying for
of
this
the guy reading the
guy.
newspaper. I
Yeah.
just slide it over.
Uh-huh.
And then he did nothing. He did not react at all. Because if somebody slid a book over, some weird looking guy just slides a book over, I am not going to acknowledge
No.
that happened if I was him.
Absolutely
You know?
not.
So he didn't acknowledge it
Keep
at all.
it pushing.
And this was my thought process. I remember the manic thought process. I was like, okay, the author of A Confederacy of Dunces is John Kennedy Toole.
Mm-hmm.
My father's old law firm was O'Donnell Kennedy. This guy will put the pieces
Right.
together.
Totally. Easy.
A to B, baby.
You're a fucking spy.
Pick
Get
up
your
the
shit
pieces.
together.
Get your
There's
shit together.
Nazis. The other guy fucked up the bag drop.
Yeah, the other guy
Don't
fucked up the
let me
backdrop.
down.
You're not doing the. You're not picking up the book slide.
These people
What
are
is going on here?
amateurs.
I'm trying to save the freaking world.
I know.
Right? So he does not put the pieces together. So I'm sitting there for a while now, feeling really anxious, feeling exposed. I'm like, all right, I better go deeper into this hotel.
You sure?
So I go up to the second floor. I go all the way down the hall. There's a couch. There's a sofa at the end of the hallway. I sit down there. I take my kufi off my head. I put it underneath the cushion. I take off my my glasses, put them underneath there. My passport, put it underneath my belt with the belt buckle underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Take the shoelaces out of my shoes for some reason. Put them
Interesting.
underneath. And now I'm completely convinced that like a V for Vendetta black bag situation is going to happen. Like if you're not familiar with the movie, basically the dissidents get a black bag thrown over their head and they get dragged away.
Scary stuff.
So I'm totally convinced that's going to happen to me, but I know for a fact that I can't break, that I can't reveal that I'm the John F. O'Donnell they're looking for.
Sure.
So I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to pretend to be a 16-year-old boy from Colombia.
I mean,
Huh?
Obviously.
That's the move.
Makes as much sense as anything else.
So I start practicing my Spanish out loud. This is so bonkers.
Yeah,
this is crazy. Like, this is insanity.
Yeah, this is pure uncut insanity.
This is pure uncut insanity. So I start practicing my Spanish out loud.
Yeah.
I was like,
you're like
hola.
a person on the subway where you're like, fuck, I gotta move.
Well, I guess so.
Right?
I don't know. I don't know. I like to think was more on a mission. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I was like, hola, me llamo Juan Francisco. Yo soy de Colombia.
Yeah.
Yo no John F. O'Donnell.
Right.
Yo soy de Colombia.
Impenetrable disguise.
Me llamo Juan Francisco. Yeah, like my name's John Francis O'Donnell. I can only change it to Juan Francisco.
Yeah.
It's not even that different.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this for like 15 minutes, just like yelling in Spanish. Nothing happens.
nobody?
To nobody.
Got
Nothing
it.
happens. Then I get up, I walk down the hall, I bump into this Brazilian maid.
Okay.
She's from Brazil. So she speaks Portuguese.
And you're like, me as well.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't speak Portuguese.
Yeah.
But I speak some Spanish,
Sure.
as you just heard.
Let's meet in the
Right?
middle.
Yeah. So I remember what I said. I said something ridiculous to her in Spanish. I said, paz y luz es la vía al cielo,
Okay.
which means peace and light is the way to heaven. Nice, right?
Beautiful.
But she somehow interpreted that as me saying I locked myself out of my hotel room.
That works.
Huh?
That actually kind of works.
In this weird manic world, of course something like that happens.
Yeah.
So she opened the door to one of the rooms. For real. Room 208. I'll never forget that number.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a hotel room.
See, again, it's like if you do things in plain sight and confidently, as a white man, the
Doors will open.
doors will literally open. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is complete validation for me
Sure, of course.
that the IRA and Bono set this situation up to get
Right.
me off the grid for a little while. Let this whole CIA Nazi thing blow over.
Yeah.
And I mean, I walk in there and there's pajamas laid out at the foot of the bed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, how much more proof do I need?
Right.
Pajamas. So this is true. So I immediately put on the pajamas.
Very nice.
They were a little bit tight. But in all fairness, I can't expect Bono to know my size.
Right. Also, like,
You know?
tight clothes are kind of your MO at this point.
Yeah, tight's good. They were a little
Wine
snug.
everywhere.
Wine everywhere. I'm wearing the pajamas. And then I took a nap in the bed
Okay.
for 4 hours.
Sleep is important.
Sleep is important. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm like, oh, I better call my mom, right? But I couldn't use my cell phone because I didn't mention this earlier, but I'd given it to a 12-year-old Serbian beggar girl while I was running through Dublin because I thought that it was tapped by the CIA and the Nazis. So I dropped it in her coffee cup that she had some change in, which is not a nice thing to do to her.
Yeah, you set her up.
I
you
set
fucking
her up.
rat bitch.
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
set her up, which is bad.
Fuck you, Serbian beggar girl.
yeah.
My life's harder than yours.
Yeah, drop, cell phone. Sorry about that. But anyway, so I called on the landline, and I called my mom. I was like,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Your poor mom.
yeah, I was like, oh. So I called my mom, and she's like, John, are you okay? What's going on with you? Are you taking your medication?
Yeah.
And then I was like, Mom, Big Pharma doesn't care if we live or if we die. And then she's like,
Fuck.
yeah, I'm like, they're just trying to stifle our evolution of consciousness by making us take pills. They don't care about us.
Oh my God.
And then she was like, oh, no. And then right while we're having this exchange, the people whose room it is come in
Oh my
for
God.
real, and they freak me out,
Sure.
but not nearly as much as I freaked them out.
Yeah, they'll never forget this. You're a core memory for
Yeah.
this family.
I think so.
Yeah.
It was like this proper British couple in their late 40s and their like teenage daughter.
I wish you could find out who these people are and send them this episode.
Oh, I would love for
And
them
be
to
like,
hear it, but how possible?
sorry.
This was like a long time ago. And then but I was like, and then I remember the mother was like, excuse me. This is my room. This is our room. And then she goes, and why are you wearing my daughter's pajamas? Which is just so crazy and unhinged.
Yeah.
And I freak out at them. I go, no, it's not. This is my room.
Oh my God.
I'm on the phone with my mom.
Oh my God.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Like, and then they left.
Of course.
They were like freaked out.
There's a vagrant in our room wearing my daughter's pajamas.
Yes, we're gonna leave.
Splitsville.
Yeah, Splitsville right away.
Yeah.
So, and in my mind, I'm like, all right, I got about 10 minutes before I get kicked out of here. I better jump in the shower.
Why not?
I gotta take a shower.
Yeah.
So I jump in the shower, and when I'm in the shower, I'm like, okay, I'm most likely going to be detained by the CIA and the Nazis now. The only way I can possibly get out of this situation is if I pretend to be crazy. I'm going to have to pretend to be crazy.
The meta-ness of this is
wild.
Unbelievable.
I was thinking of like the fool in King Lear.
Of course,
the fool gets away with telling the hard truths to the king. The jester
my God.
does.
Confederacy of dunces,
All of it. It's all playing together. I'm like, I'm going to have to play the fool to get out of this one. I'm going to have to pretend to be cray-cray.
Yeah.
Says the person who's literally
fully
crazy.
Off the walls.
Yeah. So this is what I do. I get out of the shower, I put on the bathrobe, shower cap on my head, mascara around my eyes, looking crazy, lipstick on my lips, classic. And I just jump out into the room. Oh my God. Okay, so just picture this. And there's so many people in there now.
Like security and
stuff. Yeah,
stuff.
there's the hotel security.
Yeah.
There's the hotel staff. They got the Garda, who the Irish police are in there too. And the people whose room it is, they're all in there just staring at me in shock.
Yes.
In silence. With their mouths open, just like, oh. And then in my mind, I'm like, all right, John, it's go time.
Dance. There's like a spotlight in your mind.
Yeah. Because I was like, because then in show tune style, replete with jazz hands, I go, oh, this is my room. This is my room. This is my room. This is my room. Of all the rooms, this is my room. When my room like to sing my tune. This is my room. This is my room. This is my room. My room. My. So I do that. And they're just staring at me in silence.
Smart.
In shock.
In your crazed reality.
Yeah.
Not the dumbest move.
Hey, I gotta play the fool.
You're flying by the seat of your pants or not or bathrobe.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I do that, and they're just staring at me in shock, in silence. And then they just look at each other side to side, back and forth, side to side. And then they all just start like slow clapping for me. They start clapping, and then they start clapping faster and faster and faster until they're uproariously applauding for me. Actually, no, that's not true. I got arrested.
Oh, right. I was like, what?
No, I got arrested.
And then you two burst in.
Yeah.
With or without you.
You two burst in. Yeah. They start applauding for me. You two shows up. Bono gives me a hug. With or without you.
Both of you throw your fists into the air.
That's hilarious. No, I got arrested.
I want to. I have so many projects in my life that I want to do, but to illustrate this as a cartoon, but have it actually like go where instead it's you two, like all the delusions are real.
Yeah. Oh,
and
I love that.
you know you elevate consciousness and
it'd be amazing animated. But so and that'll be a tale for another time. But I ended up getting arrested and sent to Clover Hill Prison in Dublin. So then all this other stuff happened. Basically, this story I just gave you a version of is like, essentially, we just did a conversational version of an excerpt from the solo show that I do.
Yeah.
That's called I'm on Lithium, a comedic journey about bipolar disorder. And that's about this episode in 2008, about stuff that happened in Dublin and Belfast and Edinburgh. Yeah.
One of my favorite lines from this show, which if you're in New York City, you should come see the show.
Yeah, August 14th. If you're in New York City, you can get all the info on my Instagram at JFodLovesYou.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great show. I really enjoy it. There's highs, there's lows. It's funny. It's emotional. But there's a line when you're talking about the prison, I believe in Dublin, or yes. Is there nuns, or is that in the
There's
mental health
a
facility?
nun in the prison in Dublin.
Yeah, so you tell it. The nun and the guy, the racist guy.
Yeah. So I'm in this prison in Dublin, Clover Hill Prison, and there was one guy who notoriously did not like me. His name was
Why?
yeah. How could that possibly be? His name was Anton. Like he was a really tough guy.
Yeah.
Like a
He's
real
in prison.
Yeah, but even for prison, he was like a hard case. Like he was like a scary guy.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Not everybody was scary, but he was like, he had like these hawkish eyes and this like leathery skin. He was like a hardened criminal.
Yeah.
You know, and at one point he found I must have said I was a comedian. He's like, I'll be the only one telling jokes around here, Yank. I was like, lay down the law.
All right, cool, dude.
And then he would proceed to tell anti-Semitic jokes to the nun who would show up and give us 2 filtered cigarettes each, right?
Yeah.
And when I say in the show, I go like, now, anti-Semitic jokes are not funny, but Anton telling anti-Semitic jokes to the nun and having the nun be like, oh, Anton, that's terrible. That's funny.
It's so funny.
Like that entire phenomenon.
The scenario
situation
is so funny.
Yeah, and so that's.
Oh my god, that one really stuck with me.
Yeah.
You know, I have a very distinctive laugh. You can tell when I'm really into it because it's like a scream cackle, and that
the great laugh.
something ticked into my psyche that I'll never forget. That
I
bit.
remember you've seen the show a couple times, which is really sweet of you.
Yeah, no, I love it.
And
I enjoyed everything.
And I remember that laugh specifically. People were laughing. You weren't isolated in the laugh,
No,
but I do remember
screaming.
how I remember the pop of that laugh.
Yeah, because it's such a funny. I find like.
I mean, it's funny. Yeah.
As a, this is a dark story. Your show for sure. There's a lot of really heavy material. And it's beautifully executed, but I love dark comedy, and one of my favorite things about it is the reprieve from the darkness with a funny moment, and just like the nun being like, "Oh, and
yeah." Sorry, listeners, you're not going to know this, but I know the joke that he said.
Oh, really?
But it's so fucked up that it's like it didn't even work. Like telling it like. Guys, look how fucked up this is. It's still just like, oh no, this is
air
not.
sucker out of the room.
Yeah.
Tell me off.
I'll tell you off mic.
It's gonna get demonetized.
Yeah, I'll tell you off mic. Sorry. Episodic listeners, you don't even want to know.
You don't.
It's fucked up.
Think of the worst joke, and it's worse than that.
It's so bad that even within the context of being like, hey, this racist said it,
sure,
or this anti-Semitic person said it, it doesn't. It's just the bottom drops out.
Yeah.
But aren't you excited to get to hear it?
I'm so excited. I'm frothing at the mouth to hear this unbelievably racist joke.
Yeah.
Because I am, a racist person, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you made it, dude.
Me too.
Yeah.
Glad I made it?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I only had a handful of episodes after that one, so no big deal.
What episode number was this one?
Okay, that was episode number 3.
Okay. And how many have you had?
Well, some of them were not as extreme or prolonged as that one.
A mini series.
So, but I would say in total, it's hard to know exactly, but I would say about 10.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm done with that now.
Yes, I mean, it's been a long time. You've
going on 5 years, and I feel like even though 5 years ago I could have had my shit in place for that one not to have happened, but it was the pandemic.
I don't know. The pandemic was such a fucking
But I was already being medication compliant during that one, but then I kind of slipped. But I think I'm good now.
Yeah.
I hope.
I love that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Thanks. I love it too.
Yeah. And if you guys see John in Ireland, give us a call.
Next time I go, I will be going of right mind.
Sure.
And everything's going to be all right.
Up your meds a little bit before you go into Ireland.
Yeah.
Really crank it up a few
Crank
notches.
it up a little bit just as I'm getting close to the motherland again. Yeah.
The honing beacon cannot be resisted. The Moors are calling you.
Should we do some plugs?
Let's do some
How long? Yeah.
plugs.
We've been good?
Yes. Sorry, I'm just my landlord sent me something. Oh, we're good.
Okay, so anybody in the New York area, August 14th at Baker Falls at 7 p.m. I'm performing I'm on Lithium, a comedic journey about bipolar disorder. Go to honestly, the easiest way to get tickets right now is just to go to my Instagram at JFOD JFOD loves you, and there's a link right there. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna plug. And if you're not in New York, you can check out Episodic on YouTube. You can watch my stand-up special. You can follow me on social media at JFOD loves you.
Great stuff. Follow me at Andrea Comedy 69 across all platforms. You can see all the clips there. You can see me and John, find the show on YouTube, all that stuff. Stay safe.
Peace.